Emily here in Japan at the EA Tokyo Showcase, and I'm joined by American McGee, who's here to show us Alice Madness Returns. Now, you guys just showed a trailer in the presentation earlier. What are you guys showing off today? I see there's a demo, but it's hands-off.
Yeah, this is a hands-off demo where we're showing a pre-alpha build of Alice Madness Returns, and this is running on the PS3, so we're giving people a little bit of a taste of the gameplay experience, the storytelling, the art style, some good stuff.
Okay, so where does the demo actually start off?
Well, we're starting the demo off in a place that's similar to where the game starts off. So this is London, Victorian London, 1875. And you see Alice go and meet with a character who she's hoping can reveal something about the mysteries of her past. But in the demo, you see that character rapidly transforms into something that you'd think you'd only see in Wonderland. And then, of course, Alice drops into Wonderland, where we find her in the Vale of Tears. This is something that we presented in the first game. It's sort of a sanctuary. It's where she's comfortable. It's where she's safe. But then as the demo progresses, you see how Wonderland deteriorates. All of this being linked up to how Alice's mind is deteriorating.
And you mentioned that there's going to be a lot of familiar characters that return, as well as some new ones. Can you talk about some of those?
Well, yeah, we're in the first game drawing on the list of characters that you saw in the books, and so you've got the Mad Hatter and the March Hare and the Dormouse and all of these guys, the Cheshire Cat. This time around, we're bringing them back and also bringing new characters that we didn't show in the first game to Madness Returns.
What about enemies? Can you talk a bit about the kinds that we're seeing in this demo?
Well, that's one of the things where, as you move through the game, you're never going to see the same enemies twice. So each domain has its own unique set of NPCs and enemies. It has its own unique art style. So it's a very interesting game in terms of the variety of the things that you run into. And the enemies, each of them is a sort of puzzle into itself. So in a way, you could think about them like little mini bosses. Alice has 4 weapons, but she can use them in very distinctive combinations so that each enemy requires a certain strategy, a certain application of weapons in order to unlock them and then to defeat them.
Yeah, you mentioned these weapons in the demo. Can you talk about the specific weapons and what they do?
Right, so we've got the Vorpal Blade, which you see the Alice behind us is holding on to there, watch out. And then we've also got a Pepper Grinder, which she gets from the Duchess. It was something that was featured in the first game, but Alice couldn't pick it up and play with it. We have a Hobby Horse, which kind of goes back to the toys as weapon idea that we had inside the first game. And then we've got, now I've forgotten what the 4th weapon is. Teapot, which she gets in the Mad Hatter's domain. So the Teapot is something that apparently came from the Hatter, and now she can wield it and run around and blow things up with it.
All right, very cool. So then the exploration element is still there. I saw a lot of platforming as well.
Yeah, I mean, much like the first game where there were the emphasis on the narrative storytelling, the platforming, exploration, and then combat, and also puzzles. We've brought those same 5 elements back for this game and then really tuned them based on 10 years of feedback from the audience that liked the first game. Also listening to and paying attention to what a lot of console games have done in the years since the first game. So that same mix is there, but we hope made even better.
Yeah, I saw through the demo, we were walking through and trying to hit switches, and it kind of reveals where you're supposed to go next.
Yep.
Is that kind of how it's laid out as you go through the game?
Well, it is a linear game in that sense. I mean, you move through these domains, you never return to them, or at least you don't return to them in a state where they really appear like they did the first time you visited them. So there's no hub, there's no sort of going back and forth. But what that does is it means you get a lot of variety in terms of what you're seeing. But yeah, you move through the world. It's platforming, action, storytelling. There's a big collection element in terms of upgrading your weapons, but also piecing together the pieces of Alice's past. Like, her mind is shattered, and really at the core this is a murder mystery. She's trying to uncover who it is that killed her family. And so the piece of Wonderland for her is sort of the mechanic by which she puts all that back together.
All right, so when's the game coming out and on what platform?
So it's going to be out in 2011 for PS3, PC, and 360.
Okay.
Thank you, Emily.
All right, so be sure to check back on the GameSpace for more coverage.